we'll send it back downstairs to the outdoor stage where Nick Salvi is standing by once more with a special guest.
Thanks, Gabe. And it is a special guest, John Campbell, the money-winningest driver in the history of harness racing, now president and CEO of the Hambletonian Society and Breeders' Crown. John, Lexington, there's just no place like it.
It's one of the best places on earth when the weather's like this. You know, the sky's so blue, and you know, the track has obviously recovered from the rain last night, and it's just spectacular to see the miles that these horses can do on this. You know, it's obviously one of the best surfaces in the world.
You know, it is. The Red Mile has it's kind of magical. People get pictures. The place, you never see a bad picture of it. Always the blue sky, the contrast to the red track and the grasses, and many epic miles over the years. And you've got to have some really fond memories of your tours around the Red Mile.
Yeah, it's something I look forward to each and every year from the first time I was here as a spectator, and when I got to drive and was able to come every year. It was just something I look forward to and marked off on the calendar and got my hotel reservations early. But I think the first huge memory for me was when Merger was a 2-year-old, and horse that I trained and owned part of set a world record here in 53 and 4, which doesn't seem like much today, but it was pretty magical, and he got a huge ovation from the crowd that day.
That's one of the things, and they recognized the Warwick Unique, the filly that set the world record earlier. We kind of only see that here among the standard bred tracks when the horse goes back up toward the paddock, that the fans show their appreciation.
Yeah, and it's a great feeling as a driver when you feel that applause. You know they're cheering for the horse, but you're a part of it, so it's still a special feeling to go back up there and see the crowd, especially the year I won the Futurity with what's his name?
Pine Chip?
No, well, Pine Chip as well too. I mean, Pine Chip I think was maybe as good as any 3-year-old that day when I raced him. He was just incredible.
Yeah. Now the memories are great, and a lot of these horses that we're talking about and watching over the next couple of days here at the Red Mile are going to make their way up to Pocono for the Breeders' Crowns this year. And there's a couple of new exciting instances coming with the Breeders' Crown that you've been part of as far as the wagering.
Well, we're going to have across-the-board 15% takeout on eliminations and the final, and we think it's going to be a huge thing for the bettors. I think we were getting a lot of feedback. I think there's the potential to get some crossover thoroughbred bettors tuned into us that night. So we're really optimistic that we're going to have a big handle. Now, I think 2013, the last time I was there, maybe the biggest handle in Pennsylvania history for standardbreds for sure. And I'm quite confident we're going to surpass that this year with this takeout.
There's a lot of competitive divisions, and the 2-year-old colts, there really hasn't been one that's emerged as a top colt. Several good fillies. The possibility of Lazarus supplementing if things go well for him at the Red Mile. You have the International Trot the week before that'll perhaps be a lead-in for Ariana G. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and it's an exciting possibility there.
It is, and Pocono's such a fast track. The surface is very similar to here. Obviously we're hoping for good weather, but I think the racing will be fantastic. And we're seeing some of these horses that are really coming into their own this meet here at the Red Mile. I mean, 2-year-old trotters 51 in a piece yesterday, 52 in a piece. Obviously a world record today with the 2-year-old pacing fillies. And it isn't like those horses are unbeatable. There'll be somebody nipping at their heels all the time. So I think the races are really going to be spectacular. Obviously, we hope that Lazarus supplements and is in top form, because that's another hemisphere of interest that we're hoping for.
Right.
And so, yeah, we're really optimistic. And so is the Mohican Sun of Pocono. They can't wait to get these horses on the track there. And the Pennsylvania Harness Horsemen's Association are great partners of ours. They're really going all out. I think it's going to be a spectacular Breeders' Crown.
Yeah, wonderful. It is definitely a joint venture. I know Hoosier did a great job last year. In Pocono, to have the Horsemen's Association behind you, there's a lot of working pieces to that. I'm sure it's quite a production to put on.
Well, it is, because we started planning, within 3 weeks to a month after the Breeders' Crown got done at Hoosier. As you mentioned, it was a spectacular event, and we took a lot of things that they've done. We're going to incorporate them into future Breeders' Crowns no matter where we go. So that was, a really good learning experience, especially for me, my first year. So, yeah, it starts within 30 days of getting the Breeders' Crown over. We're looking at next year's.
Yeah. Well, personally, I'm anxious to get there and see it this year. And John, thanks for taking a couple minutes out to talk with us about it.
All right, my pleasure, Nick.
Gabe, back to you, race 8.